Oof. Right. So today is on Friday, and first of all, I want us to reflect on what happened yesterday and see where did maybe what happened as of yesterday, because yesterday I took a short position, and finally my final target, or what I was targeting, has been actually met. But let's see what happened yesterday that the market didn't move at that time where we were expecting, when we were expecting it to move, and what happened from there. So this is the 9 a.m. candle that I wanted to trade. All right, let me make this wide. So this is the 9 a.m. candle that I was in the trade, but then the market pushed higher. We don't really have anything that will attract the market going higher other than this last up close candle, which is the order block. So from the 4-hour, not really any fair value gap that attracted the market going higher to this level, then a drop off maybe of the lower time. Sorry, I have something here. Right, back to what we were saying. So what I'd seen at that moment in time, we had these push higher, which wasn't a good thing to see with that kind of rejection, because a rejection means we have fair value gaps going lower that are again now being disrespected with fair value gaps going higher. That's what a long week like this means, and that's always a sign of the market maybe tending to go the opposite way. Right, we also didn't have a bearish fair value gap, of which we could have maybe anticipated a swing back into, then a rejection, and that's why I was more of leaning bearish, because there is nothing that could push prices going higher. But what we saw is we pushed lower, again we rejected, and then the next candle opened, pushed higher, took me out, then we consolidated kinda. We didn't really move off this point. What we can say is we swept these high and also this high, this candle's high, then the market turned lower. Now we have a fair value gap, but to what level can we expect maybe the market to push to? We need to locate now the draw on liquidity. Minus a draw on liquidity, remember we don't have anything to trade. So what we have here is we have this daily fair value gap that currently has been traded into. Now we need to have, yeah, this daily fair value gap has been traded into. What else if the market is really going bearish? What can we expect the market to trade into? From the daily, we don't have anything much, but also if you're going higher, then we can expect the all-time highs to be taken. So no need maybe to have it in place, because we will need to go first through this high, then again we need to go through this yesterday's high. But if the market should be going lower, the next maybe draw will be these 4-hour fair value gaps that have been left open. We're going to be checking whether we have any news. Remember, this is a pre-New York trade outlook, and also from the 4 hours, since the fair value gap, the daily fair value gap has been traded into, and we have this 4-hour fair value gap that is yet to be traded, and also we have another 4-hour fair value gap below here. Is it likely that we might see a price maybe stinging into this FVG, of which we can continue going lower? So that's what I will be watching for. And what you can notice is I have these fib levels to determine whether price has delivered to the discount at the premium levels, because whenever we are shorting, we want to see price deliver to the premium levels, then have a sell-off. So that's why I have this fib level, and the good thing is we are forming a fair value gap at that at these let me have a fair value gap has been confirmed from that low towards this candle's high. We have that fair value gap that is within the range of the OTE levels, so deep premium. So I will be watching to see price deliver into that, then the next thing will be expecting to see the market. All right, as we were saying, so if also, as of yesterday, what I did notice is with those rejection, what the market did is we pushed to deep premium, and I think this is where I am learning something. I considered my fib from the 1 hour time frame, but I think the higher time frame, I think I should be basing my fib levels of the higher time frame, because if I had used this low and this high, then maybe I could have maybe been careful watching for price how it reacts to the OTE levels. But even though we had already stung into the 50% level, sometimes the market stinks into the 50% level and then drops, right? But for this situation, what you can see, it rallied to the OTE levels, the 6279 and 705. Then the market tanked lower. So I'm having from the high, because this is the price leg that has swept these lows and has caused this fair value gap. Therefore, that's why I am having from that high towards this low. Then we have the OTE in alignment with these 4 hour fair value gap. So talking about yesterday, all right, we have 2 fibs. Let me get rid of it, right? These I was to use from this high, sorry, I was to have it from this high towards this low, but what I did is I had it at this high, because this market had respected this fair value gap. This high created this other fair value gap. So from the high, from this high towards that low, I'd noticed that price had rallied higher into the OTE levels, stung into the OTE levels, then dropped, respecting this bearish fair value gap now, because this bearish candle that I traded, it had already closed below this 1 hour fair value gap. And upon seeing that, I looked for 15 minutes fair value gap, then we dropped. So that's maybe the mistake that I did. I should have based the fib levels of the higher time frame swing points, and then maybe could have been avoided that trade due to maybe price not tapping into the OTE levels. But even though to me it was a good trade, because I know I'm kind of trading against the trend in risking like less than 0.5% of my account, so it's a good learning experience. So market stung into the OTE levels, then we have been displacing, forming fair value gaps also around that point in time. Now so this is the new price leg that we are forming, right? Damn. All right, this is the new price leg that we are currently forming from the high to the low. So want to see whether the market will be reacting off this point to give us signals to going lower. So for now, what the market is intending to do, I actually don't know, but I want to see how the market will react to these OTE levels, as well as the 4 hour fair value gap. Can price sink into this level, then displace going lower? And what I will be targeting as of first will be these lows, then later on see whether the market will be displacing towards this 4 hour fair value gap. And from the 1 hour time frame, what you can see is, can the market really deliver to this swing low? But since it's Friday, we might consolidate there for maybe a while. But what I'm really expecting, or what I'm looking forward to, is a sting into these fair value gaps, as well as the OTE levels, then see how price reacts to these levels, then continue going lower. Because what we can see is the 1 hour structure is really bearish. We are sweeping highs, running maybe lows, creating order blocks. So the market currently is kind of bearish for now. The internal structure is bearish, but the long term wise, I think we are bullish, but we might retrace maybe deep, then later on when confirmation has shown, then we can continue rallying higher. So that's what I'm expecting for gold of that fair value gap, since now the block has been created paired with a fair value gap. What you have here is a sweep, what we only have here, what maybe can cause the market to go against us, is currently we are having a sweep of these as well as another sweep of this. So I don't want to be certain that I want to be looking for shorts. I want to have also reason as to why. Don't worry, I'm at a walkway, a pathway, so yeah. All right, so if the reasons as to why the market might go against me is, number one, we have these sweeps of liquidities and we are in a long-term bullish trend, as well as we have swept, I think, a week. No, we haven't really swept that weekly though, but also what I might favor going, maybe you have this weekly fair value gap which the market today might reject, right? So that to confirm this weekly fair value gap, of which we might rally higher, but we need to wait and see how price reacts to that fair value gap, the 4-hour fair value gap that we've talked about, and then we will react accordingly. So for gold, that's all I'm watching for. If that doesn't actually happen, if no signs of going lower doesn't actually happen, and I'll need to follow my plan whereby price things into a key level, we have a sweep of liquidity, wait for maybe a market structure shift, maybe wait also for change in state of delivery, and then enter off a fair value gap. If all that won't align, then I will be on the side line. So this daily fair value gap that has already been traded into, I need to have it around that point. Yeah, so label it as my daily FVG. All right, now let's have a look into EU and see what EU has for us. So the market also tanked later on of the fair value gap, of which I did close my trade. I remember I told you guys I'm gonna be closing my trade because I was seeing the possibility of that that 4-hour fair value gap being formed. So this I was writing in my journal. So what we saw is this is the trade. I closed it at this moment before this candle at a negative, wasn't even 0.4, was at a 0.25 minus RR, so minus 0.25 RR. That's where I did close this position, because the higher time frame for me was kind of bearish. Remember, I want to see the market drop to those levels, and as of yesterday, why I closed that trade is because we had this 4-hour fair value gap, of which I really anticipated to see the market sting into. So other than me waiting for my full SL to be triggered, I decided to close the position, and then the market sang in that fair value gap and we displaced lower. And what you can see is, of that fair value gap, the market has created another 4-hour fair value gap. So I'm still bearish, so I'll get rid of this. I'm still bearish to this weekly FVG, and what I will be watching for is this 4-hour fair value gap, and we will try to see whether we have any news event today. So this is the 4-hour FVG that I'll really be watching. If the market stinks into it and then continues lower, or if the market will disrespect that and maybe rally towards the higher 4-hour fair value gap. So currently we are in between two PDREs. This can attract the market going higher, also this could attract the market going lower, but now we need more confirmations. We need more confirmations for us to take our positions. So with that, I need to go onto the this, get rid of everything. I did journal that trade, and I think I should be sending my journals to the group. So what we are having currently is the market. Let me include I clone this. Right there. There we go. Ensure, yeah. So we have the lower 4-hour FVG that the market respected, and you can see how the candles were closing and how the candles stung into that 50% of the fib, and then we rejected. So with that, can drop onto the 1-hour time frame. Also see how the candles were respecting that. Price stung, no candle is closing above the 50% of that FVG, and then we tanked lower during the Asia session. If I can move these thing. All right, during the Asia session, the market really tanked going lower. London has consolidated. We have the London highs paired with that a 4-hour FVG. The possible 4-hour I think the 4-hour has been confirmed. Yeah, the 4-hour has been confirmed. So paired with the London highs, London has already closed also. So we might see a push into these highs, then see whether the market will be dropping. So what I'm expecting is also for GU is something like this. Staying into that 4-hour FVG, maybe sweep the London highs, then see whether we'll have some confirmation for prices going lower towards these weekly long-term targets. So that's what I'm expecting for EU. And if we go to GU over here, GU looks kinda clean, because if you compare the price action between GU and EU, GU has already confirmed this order block. This candle closed below that, but for EU we didn't see that. We haven't seen that. We closed that, but the fair value gap is slightly higher compared to GU. So GU looks to be more cleaner going lower, and but the SMT says that GU is a stronger pair. So of this, wanted to see the market deliver to that, but we didn't see that happen. So what we are having here is let me get rid of these stuffs, is we having that order block being formed because that candle closed below the up close candles. We also have these 4-hour bullish fair value gaps. This fair value gap has been confirmed. We have currently stung into it for GU. For GU we have a sting into it, but EU is yet to. So all right, there we go. So the 4-hour fair value gap for GU has been stung into, and these the lows I will be watching for, which is a daily fair value area. And if we go to the daily time frame, so this is the daily fair value area. We have the weekly fair value gap slightly below compared to what EU has. So I think that's what I will be trying to target first, the weekly the daily fair value area low liquidities of that 4-hour fair value gap. Want to see how price reacts to that. And of the 1-hour time frame, what we can see is price didn't really sting into the OTE levels as I anticipated. What we saw is with this low, price stung into the 0.5, dropped, pushed high again, we consolidated, then we pushed lower. So with that, I'll get rid of this and try now to use the 4-hour swing point. So from this high towards this low, price has currently stung into the 50% level, but from the 1-hour time frame, yeah, from from that high. From the 1 hour time frame, what we can see is we have this fair value gap over here. We also have the 50% overlapping with the 4 hour fair value gap. So I will be patient, waiting to see how price maybe stinks into this area and then reacts. What I want to see is fair value gaps displacing, going lower, more especially 15 minutes fair value gaps into the 4 hour fair value gap, and then 15 minutes out of the fair value gap. So we have these London highs, so we might see a sweep of the London highs. Then later on, if we have the market really being bearish, we might expect to see those lows being taken. So that's what I will be watching for. And if we try to see which pair is more stronger compared to the other, I think EU is stronger, because the current candle printing is kind of bullish, but for GU we are seeing a bearish candlestick being printed, right? So to me, GU is more weaker. GU is weaker than EU. So that's what I will be watching for, either for gold and also GBP, because I think I will trying to short GBP other than EU, and also I will try to consider SMTs if they form, and then I will re-engage. So that's what I will be watching for either GU, EU, and gold. I don't know, let's see what's happening over gold. So gold still want to see if price delivers to this, which is the 4 hour fair value gap. Yeah, let me label it 4 hour FG. Yeah, then see what the market will be doing. Now I want us to check whether we have any news event. All right, we have the London highs open, so we might expect to see a sweep, then a continuation. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for this. Something like this. Alright, so something like this, that's what I will be watching for, and then see if the market will deliver to this 4 hour fair value gap. So let's see what the economic calendar has for us. So we don't have any USD news today until as of Monday. So somehow today we might not see the huge volatility. So we'll be careful also. Maybe if nothing presents, we can call off today. But if we see anything, then we can react to what we are seeing. And next week, I think Monday will be an ideal day to trade. Next week will be an ideal week. So let's see what the market will have for us. But as of today, I think that's what I'm expecting. If nothing presents, then we call it a week. And until next time, guys, be safe.